Oh, so terrible. So sorry, Sir Paul McCartney. Terrible. Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday already. We are studentloanjustice.org. Don't be fooled by the tattered trucker's hat. That's on purpose. We are the oldest, largest, and in many ways only true grassroots group fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. I've said that a few times. Can you not tell? I hope everybody is doing well out there in the world tonight. Couple of quick announcements. I should lead with this. If you can donate, guys, please do it. We need, I think, 7 people to donate $20 this week. 7 people, $20. Not a lot of money. We can fight and win this entire student loan battle on not a lot of money, guys. I can't do it on nothing. I cannot. So if you appreciate this group, all that we've done, all that we're poised to get done, would you please just help so I can shut up about it, please? I would appreciate it greatly. Anyways, I hope everybody's doing well out there in the world. If you have any questions or comments, and if I can see them on Facebook or Twitter, throw them out. I'm very happy to respond to them in situ. How stupid are the Republicans? Like, that's both a rhetorical question, but it's also an actual question. So I see that a lot of people are really concerned right now because the Republicans in the House passed a bill that has to do with raising the debt limit. And in that bill, essentially what the bill says is this: yeah, we'll raise your debt limit if you cut this, that, and the other thing, like work requirement for welfare and stuff like that. And if you watch people like, Republican Greg Murphy from North Carolina, when they do their interviews and they ask him, they go, okay, well, what do you want to cut? And the first thing that people like Greg Murphy say is, we got to cut this student loan cancellation thing. We got to cut this because it's the inference is that cutting student loans will be terrible for the national debt and its unneeded spending, and like the bane of all evil is the student loan cancellation. Well, first of all, guys, let me just say, the House Republicans have no power, guys. They can pass whatever they want, and it's not going to get passed into law. It's just not. The Senate is not going to reproduce what the House Republicans did, and the president at the end of the day is not going to sign what the Republicans propose. So there's no real danger there. So just let me allay your fears. Kenny, what are you doing? I got a little kitten coming up for adoption here pretty soon, but anyways, we're just going to let him play. But so the Republicans, it's like, I don't know what they're thinking. I'll talk about that in a minute. So their bill is entirely feckless, and it's not worth the paper it's written on. It's just a political gimmick. But what's really stupid about the Republicans doing that is the fact that, unlike PPP loans, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, they're so cute. This one's going to be up for adoption soon. So if you know anybody in the Northwoods who's looking for a small male cat, this would be your cat. Unlike PPP loans, federally owned student loans, which are like 90% of all student loans, public or private, federally owned student loans can be canceled without needing one dime from the Treasury, unlike PPP loans. And I would also add, not one nickel, not one thin dime would be added to the national debt when the loans are canceled. So if you're worried about the national debt, the last place you should look to solve that problem is the federal student loan program. Like, cancellation does not add to the debt. So some people might say, oh yeah, but you won't collect that money later. So eventually the debt won't go down as quickly as it might. Well, yeah, you can say that. But ladies and gentlemen, before the pandemic, less than 60% of everyone was paying in the first place. That's going to go up to 80% non-payment rate whenever they try and turn these loans back on. So this is garbage, worthless paper that was not going to be paid anyways. Pandemic, quite frankly, is the nail in the coffin. But there's a deeper philosophical point here. Why should we be looking to government profits on anything as a way to solve the national debt? Like, well, first of all, the government doesn't make a profit on anything. Like, show me where the Navy makes a profit, or the Army, or the Department of Veterans Affairs, or the Department of Agriculture. They don't make a profit. That's not how government works. But for the very rare, unique exception, which is the predatory, hyperinflationary, and now catastrophically failed student loan program, the government does not make a profit anywhere. And by the way, when the federal student loan program was rolled out in 1965, President LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, he declared that the loans would be free of interest. Those are his quotes, exact words. So why on earth do the Republicans want so badly to not cancel student loans? And, you know, they also added a bit of part into their bill. I'm told, I haven't read it. I just don't care. It's just so unimportant. I haven't read it, but apparently there's a part of the bill which requires immediate repayment and even backdating debt, so that we have to go back 6 months or some amount of time and make good on that debt or something stupid. But why on earth are the Republicans beating up on student loan borrowers so badly? It makes zero sense, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you watch the mainstream media and Fox News and just pretty much the entire mainstream media, you could be forgiven for sort of seeing why they would make that argument, because it would appear, if you believe the mainstream media, that everybody with a student loan is a young liberal snowflake, got a worthless degree in gender studies type person, right? That's okay. I could see why the partisan politics might creep in for that kind of a thing. But ladies and gentlemen, the reality, the actual truth about student loans is not that at all. In fact, my best estimate is that slightly more than half of all student loan borrowers are either Republican or independent. It's true. And by the way, older people, that is people over the age of 35, outnumber younger people with student loans also, by the way. But that first point is something that it just baffles me that the Republicans don't know this. You know, there are many polls over many years, the Pew Research, the Gallup poll, they have found that among people who went to college, including both those who graduated, those who didn't graduate, half of them are Republican or independent. And we know from other research that 85% of all federal student loan borrowers were never going to be able to repay their loans, even before the pandemic. So that's 38 million people who are losing sleep over their federal student loans. And fully half of them are either Republican or independent. So, and we're not the loudest crowd in the world. It's not like people run out in the streets, and particularly conservatives with student loans. They don't rush out and, shout from the rooftops, I'm in deep debt and I need these loans canceled. They it's just, student loans is not that kind of an issue for, I think, pretty obvious reasons, but they're out there and they vote and we vote. We, student loan borrowers, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, we're the largest, I would say, largely politically untethered voting bloc in the history of in certainly modern American history, my lifetime, 50 plus years. We're not in love with the Democrats. In fact, the Democrats betrayed us last session. They completely failed to return bankruptcy rights to the loans, despite the fact that this is a long-standing platform in the DNC party platform, going back to 2016. That's getting close to 10 years now. The Democrats betrayed us. And I think even people who don't know a lot about student loans but have them, which is most people, they're not in love with Joe Biden. They can kind of tell that Biden never really even wanted to cancel loans, that he only did it kicking and screaming. So we can give or take both parties. I mean, my personal feeling is that I can't stand either party. It's kind of a good cop, bad cop thing. It's like, which is worse, the guy who pretends to be your friend or the guy who you know is not your friend? I mean, to me, it's like flip a coin. They're both bad guys. So there's no good reason for the Republicans to be like trained lemmings. Every time you mention student loans, the first thing out of their mouth is pay your loans. You signed on the dotted line. Why should taxpayers pay for your college? And all of that is nonsense, by the way. The taxpayers, actually the Department of Education and their minions, they've made a king's fucking ransom on these loans over decades. The loans could be canceled entirely, not 10,000, not 20,000. Every nickel of federally owned student loan debt could be canceled tomorrow. And on balance, the taxpayers would be breaking about even. They might be losing a little bit, but they might also be in the black. That's how profitable this lending disaster has been. This is what happens when you take bankruptcy away from a lending system, by the way. The core of this whole problem lies in the removal of bankruptcy rights from the loans. That's the number one thing we're fighting for on this group, by the way. So the Republicans are they're either doing it on purpose and they know better, or they're just stupid and they don't know their own base. Because make no mistake, 20% of the Republican base has student loans. And 85% of those people, so something like, I don't know, 18% of their base, 17, 18% of their base, is underwater on their loans. So 18% of the Republican MAGA base are losing sleep over their student loans. So I really can't believe that the Republicans are that idiotic. I think that over time, when things get important and we get closer to the elections, I think the Republicans are going to have to come to the woodshed and propose something meaningful for student loans. And by the way, guys, so as I said, we're fighting number one for the return of bankruptcy rights to student loans. We're not going to see any meaningful student loan cancellation unless and until we get the right of bankruptcy returned to us. Whether or never you would ever file is not important. We've got to get that leverage back. Otherwise, we'll be begging Joe Biden or the next president forever to cancel loans. And what we'll get is just more nonsense like what we've already seen. It's $10,000 or $20,000 insincere, designed to fail gimmick. So this all comes down to bankruptcy, guys, getting the right of bankruptcy returned. And that's the most important thing that I'll say to you tonight, particularly if you're new to the group. I hope that you will inculcate that fact. So I'm looking for your comments now. And maybe I would also urge you, check out our Facebook group, and you can find it through the website. Near the top of the group, you can see a call that we got in yesterday to Republican Representative Greg Murphy from North Carolina. I called the guy an absolute liar on the air, and it felt good to do. And you could see the interview, the phone call for yourself. This is something that everybody can and should be doing, ladies and gentlemen. So we're also asking everyone to get us into a meeting, I kid you not, with both of your senators and your House rep. We'd like to meet with all of them. And if they happen to be Republican, that's even better. We on this group, we like going into the lion's den. That's where this problem is solved. And we do have conservatives on our side, by the way. people from the Federalist Society, people who've worked at the Cato Institute, people at George Mason University, many other conservatives agree with us that bankruptcy has got to be returned to student loans. Now, we may diverge when it comes to the loan cancellation issue. Guys, the loans have to be canceled. The lending system is done. It's toast. We got to get bankruptcy rights back, though, guys. If you want to see your loans canceled, we have got to get the leverage of bankruptcy returned. Again, that's the second time I've said it. It's the most important thing that I'll say to you tonight. So a lot of you people may be asking, well, what can I do? Well, what you can do is very simple. What you can do are our daily actions. We do these daily actions, which you can see right there. We do these daily actions nearly every day. They're very quick. Like today's daily action was literally retweet this, and this. Three retweets. Very easy to do. I'm very pleased to announce that one of our tweets was retweeted by famous actor John Cusack, who happens to be a very good guy on the student loan issue. I don't know about his other politics, but I do know that John Cusack is a fucking hero. Pardon my French. So I'm thrilled that he is following us on Twitter. Matt Gaetz, believe it or not, the Republican from Florida, he also follows us on Twitter, which is kind of odd. But you'd be surprised, guys. This issue transcends both parties. And so we're kind of on a roll. But if everybody, including you sitting there, we're doing our daily actions every day, the student loan problem would be solved. Your loans would be completely solved, probably gone in a matter of months. We've got over 1.4 million people on this group, guys, at least on paper. We've got over 1.4 million people signed up for our little group here. And that's something to be kind of proud of, but it doesn't really make sense unless everybody helps. So if you forget everything I say tonight, remember this. At least go to our website, look at our daily actions. Just do our daily actions. It's stupid when one person does it, but it's a problem solver. It's a giant killer when everybody does them. And they're quick and they're easy and they're fun. So, hey, Nick Arard's with us tonight. Hey, thank you, Nick. Dope intro. Yeah, there's certainly a dope playing the piano there, but I like to play the piano for my intros just because life is more than student loans, right? Let's take 2 steps back, guys. These are student fucking loans that we're talking about. They shouldn't even exist, quite frankly. The world is big and beautiful and amazing. And so to those of you out there who are just sweating bullets over your student loans, take a step back, take a breath. Life is beautiful. Student loans may not be, but it's not that big of a deal. Lending systems fail from time to time, ladies and gentlemen. That's maybe the bigger picture that you need to be aware of. Lending systems do fail pretty frequently, and this has been true since the days of ancient Greece and stuff. So this too shall pass, but we do have to fight, unfortunately, guys. This is the fight of our generation, apparently. Hey, Joanna Kearns from Florida says, too stupid, they need help, and I am not saying financial, from Joanna Kearns. Yeah, the Republicans definitely need to figure their shit out, pardon my French. We don't like the Democrats either, guys. The Democrats blatantly betrayed us last congressional session on bankruptcy, as I think I was beginning to say earlier. Quite frankly, I can't stand either party. A couple phone numbers there that Gordon is posting that people can call. So yeah, guys, that's basically it. The Republicans are fucking stupid. The Democrats, we're a fiercely nonpartisan group, so I should probably equal time this with some scathing words for the Democrats. The Democrats are insincere and fake, dudes. It's like, I already said it, but who do you hate worse? The guy who stabs you in the eyeball or the guy who stabs you in the back? I don't know. Let's take your pick. So anyways, guys, that's what I had to say. Send this live stream to a Republican. Couldn't hurt, right? Forward it to Ron DeSantis or Donald Trump or Kevin McCarthy, as Gordon is mentioning in the comments, or whoever you want. And I will be back tomorrow. I will work on my piano. I'll try and be a little smoother tomorrow. Bring something that's maybe not so hard on the ears. But anyways, we got this, guys. Don't trip. Just help us fight. It truly feels good. It's cathartic. We are actually the pioneers that are going to solve this problem, guys. It was this group that started the whole conversation about canceling student loans by executive order, by the way. I kid you not. That all started on this group. I'm totally serious. We would not be talking about Biden's lame cancellation today, but for the people on this group and our petition, which hopefully you signed, change.org/cancel student loans. We would not have any kind of bankruptcy legislation to fight for in decades past or going forward, but for this group. I know it doesn't look like that, dudes. I mean, I get it. I don't understand it either. Why it seems like there's crickets everywhere we go, but this group is way, 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 way more important, and the only actual authentic group that I can even think of. We don't make money in weird, sly little ways. We don't have any little creepy little deals with snakes off to the side. We're not selling our members out. We don't do any of that bullshit, guys. And as I said, for example, the only place we get money from is in little nickel and dime donations from normal people. This week, for example, we need to raise $140. So hopefully you can help there. And let me just dial that stupid donation thing in one more time for you. Anyways, guys, we got this. I'll see you tomorrow. Do our daily actions, please. Just make things easier on us. Let's have some fun. Good luck. Godspeed. God bless everyone.